Okay, I think I've figured out YouTube. Should be up and running now. Just gonna refresh what I'm looking at and see if it's up. Yep. Just for the record, this is Andrew Ravlewski. I do not know the name of his opponent. I'm looking for the challenge bracket now. Just going to check with David here and see how much longer it's going to be before we start this match. So hold on and hang out. Okay, we're just about to start here, so I'll change the camera back. Okay, still trying to find the challenge bracket, but here we go. We have Chris Jenkins versus Roland Stock. Okay, looks like Chris won the leg. Just about to start off, race to 11, 10 ball. Let's see how Chris does. And potting a ball in the break and keeping control of that cue ball. Well, he's made a ball. I think he can see the side of that one ball there. Just taking a look at the table, working out the options. There's not a whole lot he can do here. I don't think he can hit that one ball hard enough to get it to go anywhere and keep that cue ball off of the two. He's going to push out down table, down towards the 10 ball, I think. That's going to come right in line with the 4 ball, and he's going to get this one back. That's almost perfectly in line. He may take the jump shot at it, though. Definitely checking it out. Roland made a nice legal hit on the 1. Got a little unlucky there to have the 1 ball hang around and set up nice and pretty for Chris. The only tricky situation here would be the 4 to the 5, and then the 5 to the 6. If he can get through that, it looks like he'll be able to get all the way through the rack. He's got a bit of work to do. Pretty straight on that too, not a lot he can do there. I think he was trying to draw it back for that 3-7 combination. That's what he's called, 7 on the side. How's the audio? I seem to be getting a lot of echo in my headset, but I can't tell if that's the way it is on the stream. Not quite there on the 7 ball. From this vantage point, I can't tell if that 3 is frozen. Probably play that 3 off the rail, off the 5. Bank into the side is what he's called. Just tried to pick it clean. Thanks, Jordan. And if anybody can let me know if they can hear any of the music in the background. I've asked them to turn it down in the hopes that it doesn't get picked up. And Facebook and YouTube don't get mad at us. Three ball's got a little bit of a funny angle to the side. Doesn't want to go far. Needs to stick around there for the 4 unless he's going to run it around. He's going to spin it around. Nicely set up for the 4. Probably a similar type of shot. The angle off this one though does seem to lead into the 6-7 a bit more. He may be straight enough he can just draw it back. It looks like he is frozen to the 7, but he's frozen on the up table side, so he should still be able to make this 5. Bridging over the 6 though. Not too much in the road. That's going to be a little light. Can't tell if he got there. Well, yeah, he wanted to get all the way across there. He's got the bank. He can probably try and cut that if he wanted to. Played the bank, it's come short, but left him pretty safe. That's not too bad at all. It's called the long bank. If he can control the cue ball here and get a look at the 9, I'm not sure whether he's playing the 2-way on this or just committing to the bank. Probably just committing to the bank. Pretty tough to play that bank and get a covered ball out of it, and just nailed it. And the side pocket as well. Ball in hand with 2 balls left. You got to think this is done. Just needs to put the 9 in that side pocket, run the cue ball up a little bit. It is a nice venue here. We're at the 15th Street Bar and Grill here in Auburn, Washington for the 625 and under 10 ball. A race to 11 both sides, rack your own. That was a bit unexpected there. And that first game will go to Roland. So they're using the template rack out there. We'll see what we can see with Roland's break. I'm still hunting down that challenge bracket. I'll see what I can do to find it. Maybe David, if you're watching, you can post it in the comments. One at the front, 10 in the middle, 2 and 3 on the corners. Roland breaking from the back rail. See if he can get that cue ball to hop and stop. It's got the hop. A little bit of a kick there, I think, but hasn't left much on the one. Roland probably going to play a little safe here. Oh, he's looking at that bank. He's looking at that bank. One ball right between the 6 and the 8 down into that corner pocket. That was a great shot. Didn't actually call it though. Wow. Ball in hand for Roland. Oh, he scratched, I guess. Sorry, I missed that. Looking at too many screens. Free ball might be out in the middle of the table, but it doesn't have a lot of open pockets to it. Unless it goes in that side, does it? Yeah, it goes past the 7 in the side. Just run right up table with this. Nope, came back. I wonder if it goes past that 10 or whether he's going to try the 3-10. Just called the 10 ball. Go big or go home. Stay down, follow through. Well, he did both of those things. Still didn't get a reward. If anybody has a link to the challenge event, if you could post it in the comments, I'd like to get a screenshot of it and see if I can post it up here. Chris double horns the 4 on the side, and it sets up for the other side. Nothing tied up, nothing needing to be developed, just needs to play some good position, follow through the rack. I'm having no luck here with the challenge chart. Sorry, folks. Next time I talk to David, we'll see if we can get him to post that. Give me a few minutes. I'll be right back. Roland got a little out of line there, but he hasn't left a whole heck of a lot for Chris to do, or Chris here. He's called the bank. It's to make this and stay right there for the 8. Just came a little short. Gotta watch the corner pocket. Ouch. So a little bit of a rocky start here. Both players just getting into it. Chris just wants to leave himself a little bit of an angle here so that when he shoots the 9, he can pop off that rail and shoot that 10 either into the corner or the side. He needs to get clear of the 10. Looked like it was might have been a little slow there, but he's got good angle here. Just needs to give it a little bit of pace to come out. Always difficult when you leave it short, but that's perfectly fine. And that's one for Chris. So we'll update the score there. And if I remember correctly, Roland broke dry in that last rack. Don't want to bug the players and ask them. So we'll just move forward like that. Still trying to find a comfortable routine doing this, still fairly new. But we'll get better, we'll get smoother. Nice break from Chris, got kicked. Otherwise that cue ball was perfect in the center of the table there, coming up the table for the 1. So far, Chris is 2 for 2 on the break for making a ball and getting a, keeping the cue ball on the table. Cutting the 1 over. 2 balls over the pocket, so not a lot of work to do there. But he does have to get out towards the center of the table for that 3. Needs to be out past this line. Gotta fix a few things here that I thought I already had fixed. Chris getting through the rack. Did he get a little rub on the 9? Just enough to get that to drop. Can be a little tricky on the 5. Probably gonna have to come back over and across. That's got to get some speed, and he's missed the 5. Do have a stat sheet up there. I'll try and fit it in, see if I can get you to get a look at it, see what's what with how the guys are shooting. There's not a lot left to do in this rack. Just pot your way through it. Don't leave yourself too straight in. I think he may have left himself pretty straight on that 9. He's got a little bit of angle there with it being so close to the pocket. Probably not happy about being stuck on the rail, but still workable. And Roland taking the lead 2-1. So I got a stats page here, trying to keep up with it. It's the first time I've used it, so I'm probably going to screw up a few times as I work with it. But so far we can see that out of the 3 games, Chris broke twice. He's made a ball in the break both times. No dry breaks, no scratch in the breaks. Pushed out once. Roland took that push out. Chris has missed 2 balls and fouled once. See Roland's stats, 1 break was dry, and then he's scratched twice. But he's still up 2-0, or 2-1, sorry. So a dry break and a foul break. Just looking at how he can get down onto that 2 and exactly how far past the 9 he goes. He's trying to give himself the best odds of getting a shot on that 2. Pretty sure it goes past the 5, just the way it's sitting from our vantage point. That's going to get real close to the 9. But he picked the right line, so even if he got too close, he ended up with a nice look at that 2. Just bounce it one rail off the back rail, a little shorter than where he is now, and he'll be fine for the 5. Back out to the center of the table. Whether he's on the left or right side of the 6 after the 5. Oh, that's gonna be heavy. I really wanted to get on that 6 on there, because from the 6 you can either play the 7 in that top right corner, or that 7-10 combination. It isn't difficult either. So, he's called the bank side. Let's see if we can get that cue ball in and around that 10. Gonna be short, but he's gonna end up safe. No, the 6 ball is gonna leak out to the other side of the table. Oh, thanks, Christine. I'll go looking for that now. See if I can't set up a page to look at that on here. A little extra draw on that shot. Bringing Roland up table a little ways. A little bit of a tester here. Cut that 9 ball into that top left-hand pocket. Bring that cue ball around 2 rails, or is he gonna try and draw it back? He's aiming pretty low on the cue ball. Well, he got on the 10. Not so sure he would have liked to shoot that, but he hasn't left Chris much. This is going to be a heck of a shot. Almost frozen to the rail. 9 ball almost on the spot. Got to cut it into that bottom left pocket, run the cue ball around the table. 2 rails just to get up here for the 10. And he's nailed it. Hit it perfect. Can't hit that one any better. So Chris will tie it up at 2. And here we are with the bracket. As you can see down here. Oh, nope, that's not going to work. Let's try this. Right down here. I'll figure this out. Right down here. Still not working. Oh, we'll head back to the game. Chris is ready to break here, and I'll try and figure out what's up with that scene I was just trying to show you. It's a great break by Chris. Just a little extra topspin on that cue ball is getting to go up table, but it's coming straight back. Not wavering off to his side at all. He's got a little bit of work to do with that the 4-5 combinations there. Got to do something with the 2, 2-3, try and control it. Come around and see what he can do here. Missed one. It's going to hang up over that side pocket. Not quite far enough. Roland figuring it out. That 2 ball is going to come off that 3, and over here, if he can leave it in this area and leave the cue ball there, he'll be looking good for the rest of this rack. He must have had a little bit more angle than I thought. I'd really like to get an overhead camera. I gotta figure that out. I am working on it. Setting up for that bank side on the 4. If he can do it and keep control for a shot on the 5. He's done a great job. Got a little bit fortunate to have the 5 come off that horn straight back up and not come out towards the 7. But still, to bank that 4 there, still end up with a look at that 5. And I'm going to try and paste that challenge bracket. If you can copy and paste that into your browser, should work. It's kind of under hit that 5. Sorry. Looked away for a second, missed the fact that he potted that 10 ball as well and had to spot it. Got the wrong line, wrong side of the pocket line for the 9, but still shouldn't be too bad. The tables are pretty quick, so going 3 rails around isn't too bad. Slow on that one. Spot shot on the 10. And that'll make it 3-2 for Roland. No. Oh, my bad. Gotta pay more attention here, obviously. Anyway. Sorry about that, Jordan. I gotta pay more attention. I'm looking away for a second. I'm missing important stuff. Back to the break. Chris loading up. Let's see how if he can stay consistent on this break. Well, he ended up in the center of the table, but only because that 8-ball gave it a little kick, but still, friendly little kick. Got to look at the low ball on the table. Made a ball. It's 100% on the break for Chris. And that 2-ball just hangs up in the corner there. I think Roland has a window at it. It certainly does, Jordan. Certainly does. Just doing a little sharing of the stream. See how that affects the number of people viewing. Roland walking over there to look at whether he can get by that 4 to jump that 6. He's going to jump the 6 and bank the 3. Double kissed it. Didn't give up much. That 310 is lined up. The 6 is in the road, and I think it's off angle too. So. I think that's Chris's only shot, though, is the 3-ball combination. He's lining it up. I mean, he could play safe. Just roll that 3-ball to the end rail. Try and get that cue ball over by the 4 or 6. But he's called the 6 in the corner. And he's ended up like roses. 10-ball has come back out. He's almost perfectly straight at it. He's got to call the 10 in the corner and go for it here. Nope. Had room past the 10 for the 3. Looks like he's going to do the carom off the 4. I would have thought that would have been a little easier with the 3, but I'm not at the table. And the 10-ball rattles in the jaws, hangs up. The bank's here, but can he get onto the 5 from it? If you miss the bank long and it comes back off that horn, this is not going to have the speed or the line. Roland struggling a little bit. I'm sure he'll figure out these tables fairly quick. $4.10 for Chris. And that's another one down in the books. Chris leading 4-2, race to 11, breaking again. It is winner break, rack your own. Made a ball on the break. He's got to look at the one. 5 for 5 so far. I could take a lesson from this. Lori Mino, welcome to the stream. Aren't you all the way across the world there? Let's see if he can cut this in or whether he's going to play safe. Probably cut it in and head up table for that 2. Comes around 2 rails, going to get right in there. Nicely on the 2, maybe a little close, but not bad. Just wants to come back out and around for the 3. Did that nicely. He's kept his angle. He's moving the ball well today. He's going to try and draw it back for the 4. Oh, he's straight enough that that wasn't an issue. Yeah. 6 ball is probably the toughest ball in this rack. And it's not that tough. I would expect him to get through it. Nicely done. Got to stay off that 5. Little too long. Little too long. It's probably because I said I expected him to get through the rack. That's my fault, Chris. Not sure what he'll do here. Might be able to thin it and play safe. I think he's looking at trying to cut that into the top right corner top right corner pocket there, but I think he's too far. Welcome to the stream, Lake. There's a fella considerably over the Fargo cap for this tournament. Gonna play that. Chris just playing that down there nicely and behind the 7 for the safety. Got the weight right, the line right. Don't necessarily need to get a ball in hand out of it. You just don't want to give your opponent a good opportunity to kick safe or make a ball on you. Controlling the table. Roland's called the 10 in the side. It's going to come 2 rails. Try and punch that 5 into the back of the 10. If he does hit it at that angle, the cue ball I think will be coming up towards the 9, the 6-9. 5 ball will stay down at that down at the top left part of that corner pocket up here. Not quite the result he was hoping for. Chris just needs to roll past that 9. Nicely done. And again, just a nice little follow shot to roll up. See how his cue is about halfway between that first and second diamond. That's the line that he needs to stay on to get over for the 9 if he wants to play the 9 on the side. He can also stop right there and play that 9 in the bottom left corner pocket. It's gone a little farther than he wanted, so I expect he'll play that. He'll play that with just a little bit of top. Come straight out into the middle. Sorry, wrong button again. Play this out here. Cue ball floating down there. 7 ball on the side. He may go all the way to the end rail and back. Depends on how much speed he has and what kind of line he has. Nope, a little straighter than I thought, so elected to play it a little slower. And now just draw it. No, he'll go 2 rails to the center of the table. No, he's going 3 rails. That worked out. Could be dangerous though. Playing under the 2 rails keeps the cue ball away from that side pocket and also keeps it away from the 10, so you don't have to worry about running into it and facing the rail instead of a pocket with a shot on the 10. The challenge bracket is up. So far, Jake Dosh defeated Jack Kiske, 11-10. Paul Quero defeated myself, 11-10. And Paul Purdy defeated Craig Dumo, 11-10. A lot of really close matches here. Lee Puyet advanced over Frank Roca, 11-9. Ed Hobbs beat Marlon Oliveros, 11-8. Gavin Roderick defeated Jeff Jimenez, 11-6. And that's where I'll stop on the update because Chris is about ready to break again. Try and leave the 1 ball up here, cue ball in here. He's hitting it so straight on that that cue ball, that 1 ball is coming straight back up table. I believe it's 6-2 now. Sorry, 5-2. Second, I'll double check it here. 5-2. I'm pretty sure it's 6-2, but he hasn't moved his coin on the table yet. I'll just leave it as per what's on the table just in case I screw it up. 1-6 combination. Nope. Gonna play safe. Try to run that cue ball in behind the 6. It's come out. And I'm pretty sure that 1 ball goes. So Roland's got to put some wins together. I'm going to call that a safe attempt. Actually, I'm going to call that a miss. Unforced error. Still trying to figure out how I want to do these stats. Roland's really taking his time on this 1 ball. Got to hit it perfect. Stab that into the corner pocket. Draw that cue ball right straight back. Hit it nicely. He's got a good look at the 2. Maybe not quite as good as he would have liked, but it's still pretty good. Two ball into that corner pocket. Landed nicely on the 4. Just needs to hold position here to work out this rack. Can't tell if he's halfway in between on that 5. It can be a little awkward if the natural shape playing topspin on this brings that cue ball towards the side pocket, which is what I think he's looking at there, because you kind of want to try and run this way for that 6, but if you're too close to that side pocket, you may have to play the 5 in there and bring the cue ball around. Oop. Not very straight there. But let's get good angle on the 6. Should be no trouble getting onto the 7. And if he's looking to place that cue ball on this quadrant of the table here for the 9, the shape will lend itself that way. Should just be fine. Just punch this out, come straight back. That's got some pace to it. It's still all right, still fine. Just 1 rail out here. It's golden. A little heavy. Still fine though. Just need to keep control of the cue ball in your brain so that you don't run it around the table and scratch. So that's 3rd rack for Roland. Chris Jenkins leads Roland stock 5-3. Go back to that challenge bracket. I think we left off with Ed Hobbs beating Marlon Oliveros 11-8. Tommy Sleva lost to Will Pearson. Gavin Roderick defeated Jeff Jimenez. Oh, I think I've already read that one. Clark Smith beats Rob Cameron. Bill Ohashi beats Dave Dimmitt. Woody Wood defeated Scott Nelson. And Gary Sankey defeated Jesus Martinez 11-8. Roland Stock, this is his second match. In his first match, he defeated Victor Noyola. And then on the bottom of that rack, David Lash defeated Navi Gill 11-9. I don't think you're going to see too many matches today that get out of hand. That's a scratch on the brake by Roland. The brake's been the real big difference here. Not too many problems here. This is a wide open rack. Hold your position, work your way through the way you can, and this should be one for Chris. The toughest shot there is going to be from the 5 to the 6. That'll be the crucial one. And even that. Oh, I'm still on the scene. Sorry. I'll figure this out. There you go. That's a little better. Any way you want to do it with that 4-ball. Whatever way you feel comfortable getting around the table, go for it. I like playing this one with a little bit of top left and running through the table. Just like that. Got a huge landing zone there, so anywhere on this half of the table. It's great. I think he's ended up pretty straight here, so he's drawn straight back. Oh, he wanted to come off the rail there. Spin it down table. Still, it just needs to cut this in really soft. I don't think he can hold it if he cuts it in that soft. I think if he plays this into that pocket and brings that cue ball 4 rails around. See what he does here. He might try and hold it though. He's trying to hold it. That's got to slow down. I think he's okay. That's going to work. He's got just enough of that 7 to cut it in the side. Play the cue ball with just straight top, maybe a little bit left to bring it out into the center of the table off the end rail. Yeah, you don't want to be stuck on that rail. He's got some angle here, so just the same thing. Try and put the cue ball right back where you are and you're fine. That's going to be low. Has it got the speed? Has it got the speed? Almost there. That's so disheartening when you run all the way through a rack to get onto the case ball and just end up a little short. If anybody wants to watch the match on YouTube, I am streaming on YouTube as well. I'll post a link down here in the comments on Facebook. Five, 4. As we look at the bracket, go over to the stats. So this is what we've got so far. Score's 5-4. The break's been the real difference. Chris has been incredibly consistent on his break. Roland has yet to actually be successful. I've got 3 recorded breaks for him. So that actually works out. Looks like my stats are working there. Got a little bit of a break there as one of the players just taking a little bit of a timeout. And they're back. Roland breaking into rack number 10. Good break by Roland. He stuffed the 1 though. Can't see the rest of the table. He's looking. He's made the 1, 2, and 3. Wow, 3 balls on the break and 10 ball. That's huge, but he's unfortunately stuck on that 4. No offensive shot there whatsoever. Probably gonna have to play safe. Just try and tuck that 4 in a little tighter to that 7 ball. Drag that cue ball around a few rails. Maybe spin the heck out of it and get it in behind the 10. No, he's just gonna put it down, try and get it to the end rail. Not bad at all. I would expect Chris to hit this. Come 1 rail, maybe 2, thin the 4 in behind the 7 a little bit more. Right, thin it out on the way out, bring your cue ball. That'd be a heck of a shot there if you can pull that off. Come 2 rails, just thin the 4 and put the cue ball down between the 8, the 7, 2 rails in behind the 10, 9. Not going to hit it with that kind of speed and just barely miss thinning it. Roland's going to tuck him in again. 3 foul rule is in effect. Probably have to go 2 rails at this one. You can see he's pretty tight there. There's no room in here. It's gonna have to come around. Not really sure what the angle is on that one. That's actually a pretty good save. I think he's going to play this a little bit of top right, try and check it and get it to come back. Yeah, so hard to do when it's so tight to the rail like that to get enough spin on it to check. I think that will put him on 2. Roland's just looking to see how he can squeeze out a 3rd foul here. He's got enough angle to put the 2. He's got enough room to put the 2 over to here. Cue ball in there. Get him on the 3 foul rule. A little tricky to do with such a wide open table, but at the same time, those balls just seem to be cutting off the typical angles. Nope, he's got the position he wants for the run out. Got a little bit of angle here. He can just float forward into this area of the table. I have to stop doing that. Not that you guys know what I'm not doing, but just into here, just float right off into there. It's pretty straight there, but he did have a little bit of angle. He's done well to get over there for the 6. He's not going to hold it there for the 8, but he'll probably just come straight back and across either just the 1 rail or the 2, depends on how he wants to shoot that 6. So much of this game is a mental game. If you feel like you're going to make it, you usually do. If you feel like you're not going to make it, or you're going to miss, or you're going to hang it, or whatever, it just seems to happen that way. Took an extra second to think it through and figure out exactly how he wanted to hit that. Wanted to hit that with a little bit more pace. It's done well to stay on that 8. A little bit on the wrong side of the line, but you don't have to do anything for the 9. Stay right there. I should have a little bit of a lean off of the 9 to head out towards the or the foot spot there. So just a little bit of draw it over 8-10 inches or 24. Should still be fine though. That would be a tie ball game, folks. 5-5. Back to the stats as Roland moves his coin on the table. And we'll set it back up for him. That last rack was Roland's actually first recorded successful break of 4. Let's see if he can keep that, get a bit of a roll going. Can't see what's happened there. Broke dry. So hasn't scratched, but broke dry again. The break in 10 balls. So much more work needed than 9 ball. 9 ball, everybody seems to have that one figured out. You can either pop that head ball on the side, or you pop the corner ball, or the wing ball in the corner pocket. David's just, or Chris is just taking a look here, making sure that 110 doesn't go by the 4. Be careful here with that 10 being kind of in the road with the cue ball. He may get trapped into that top left-hand corner area of the table. Cue ball being so close to the rail, you can't really do a whole heck of a lot with it other than just put straight topspin on it. Blair, welcome to the stream. Just gonna play safe. Didn't quite get there. That 1 ball is gonna come out past, not quite past the 9, but he's left a pretty simple carom with a good option to keep control of the 1 ball. He can just roll the cue ball into the 1, pot the 9, and he'll still have a shot on that 1 into the bottom right corner. From there, the rack is open. Oh, hit that a little thinner than I expected. don't believe he has that left edge of the one, but he might. That was pretty tight there, but he's ended up safe. Got safe there. Chris looking at his options, trying to figure out how he's going to work this round. I think he's looking at kicking the one on the side. Good kick. He's come out of that not too bad, actually. I believe the one ball is still ahead of that side pocket, so there's no way that Roland can cut it in. He's bridging up over the four ball. So he's going to make a legal hit, but what's he going to be able to do with it? Is he going to be able to tuck that in? Oh, he tucked that in nicely on the two. I think Chris now has to go between that 6-8 to kick at the one. Sorry, hit the wrong button again. I'll figure it out. Hey, Larry Anderson, welcome to the stream. He obviously made a legal hit on the one, but he's left the wide open rack to Roland. Roland just needs to keep control of the rock. Everything's open. Nothing needs to be developed. Nothing needs to be broken out. He's a little bit funny on the two here. He's got the wrong angle. He's going to be coming towards the 10 instead of towards the side rail. So he'll run it up and back. Very nicely done. He's back in line. Just one rail, pop it out 3 or 4, 6 inches maybe. Yeah. He's got a good line off that 4. To stay off the 6. Needs to stay off the 6. If he just touches the 6. Oh, he's gone in behind the 8. And these tables are a little fast. Maybe a little faster than most folks are used to. Just needs to jump about a 1/4 inch of that 8. He's done it nice, avoids that side pocket. That's a great shot. Great shot to stay on track there. Forgot to have some note sheets out so I can kind of keep track of when all these great shots are going through. A little speedy on that one. It's lined up fairly nicely to the side. Should still be able to handle this. And that is Roland's first lead in the match. You'll see a lot of swings during a longer match, like a race to 11. Usually someone comes out. Hey Blake, there is a link just above, just somewhere up above there in the comments, but I'll see if I can't pin one to the screen. See if I can do that. Just need to do a little maintenance here. It's not a bad break there. He's made a ball. So his percentage is climbing. He's a little tricky on the 1-2. Might have the carom, might not. Called the one ball, got it to drop. It's half the battle. Got to get from the 2 to the 4, which shouldn't be too much of an issue. Just a little bit of top left, come out 2 rails out into the center of the table for that 4 into the bottom right. Straight in on that 4, just needs to run it up. Excuse me for a second here, just trying to get this up and running. Yeah, I think the best I'm going to be able to do for now is just put the link on the top right there. I don't think you can click on it, but you can type that into your browser and it should pop up for you. Let me know if that works. Thanks, Blake. Tournament organizer is David Ringler. We're down at the 15th Street Bar and Grill in Auburn, Washington. It's a great place, full of 7-foot diamonds. I think there's 16 7-foot diamonds in the house. Looks like Roland's come far enough. You'd like to be another 3 or 4 inches there, just to get that a little bit of a better angle to stay there for the 9. Use here, it'd be so much easier to stay right there, whereas being here, coming in this thin, you almost want to check it and play it over to the other side. So. And you spin this around too. You could play this with a little bit more speed and spin it. But that's moving the cue ball around a lot. Looks a little heavy. Nope, he's all right. He's all right. Just needs to draw off into the rail and back out. Watch it. Cue ball's got to stop. Okay. Thought it had more speed than that there. That's another one for Roland. As he takes a 7-5 lead in this race to 11. If anybody can, I'd appreciate it if you like and share the stream. Like my page, Kickin' Billiards, on Facebook. We're streaming on YouTube as well. There was a link to the YouTube stream in the comments if you can scroll back and find it. See what we've got here for camera angle. Head back to the side view for this. The side view is going to be our main view. They do have a camera that's up in the ceiling, but I can't seem to get it to work. I think there's a connection that's been disconnected up at the top, about 15 feet in the air. My arms aren't that long. Well, there's a good break by Roland. Oops, sorry, wrong button. He's got a good look at that. Got a good look at the table there, but he doesn't have a good look at the one. He's going to cut it over and try and run that cue ball into the 8 and hold it there somewhat for the 2. Yeah, he's going to scratch. And the 1 is landed near the 10. So that's 3 fouls each. I haven't been able to keep track of the unforced errors as much as I would like. But we'll see. This is my first time using the stats page, so we'll see how, see what I need to change, what I can leave the same, and how I can do it a little bit better. 3-4 being tied up almost requires you to shoot the 110, and he's successful at it. So Chris will get a game back here. He trails 6-7 in a race to 11 down here at 15th Street Bar and Grill. Chris breaking in rack 14. He did not hit that one as consistently as he has hit the others. But if he hasn't made a ball, he's probably going to get the option after this. Can't imagine Roland can come up with anything here other than a push. Players just gonna work together to get rid of that template rack. You gotta push out here, but where do you push? I think your only option is probably into the 5. Push into the 5. Leave some sort of shot there. He's got left a long bank, but that might be a pretty tight long bank to pinch in there without getting a double kiss. Yeah, Chris lives 5 minutes from this table, so he plays here a lot. Does he, Ken? Got to get him behind that 8. Not quite, but he's tied up another ball. So if Roland can run out from here, that'd be one heck of a run out. But that 210 is looking pretty wired. I thought the 4 ball might be in the road, but the way Roland looked at it, I don't think it is. If he can get down into that corner of the table, I think he needs to get down there, because even if he ends up where he is right now, he might have room exactly from there to get past the 5 to hit that edge of the 2, but Chris looking at how he can kick at that 1. I don't like kicking out at 1 rail, just because you don't have much of a target to hit the cue ball, but something like that, maybe drive the 1 ball down table, leave the cue ball up here. Hope you get a little bit fortunate. It is 10 ball and a 7 foot. There's lots of room for congestion out there. See if he can hit this on the 2 rail, maybe a thin it on a 3 rail. Gonna have to hit it with some pace to get some separation. And he's made it, actually. But he's gonna get it back because he cannot see that 2. Can't imagine Roland has anything and has such a large bag of tricks as to somehow get on that 2 and make the 10, and he's handed it back to Chris. Not a whole lot of options here. I think your only option here really is to jump at it. You do have the 2 rail, which I can't really show you the right angle, but it's like that. To head in there. Yeah, he's just going to take the foul and punt that 2 away from the 10. Make Roland run it out rather than risk missing it and having him wire it up. With a table like this, Roland's definitely going to try and cinch it up. Might as well go for the 3 foul rule on this, and he's left that 2 ball close to the 3. That's going to make the next foul that much easier, because he can really have a good opportunity to marry that cue ball to the 3 and cut down Chris's cueing options and his bank options. He's still got the 1 rail here. Called it in the side. Just misses it. So I'm not 100% accurate on my stats for this, but so far we've got 2 safety attempts by Roland and 2 ball in hands. I know I've missed some, so I do plan on going back and watching some of these and maybe updating the stats and the commentary. It's a lot of time to do that though, but I do have some time. I think I don't mind shooting the cue ball this way and putting that 2 ball into here and just leave that cue ball right there. I can use the telestrator today because we're not streaming it to any TVs in the house and no one can see what I'm drawing. He's called it safe. He's going to send this 3 rails and around, maybe 4 rails. Nope, he's just drawing the cue ball in the back. That'll work. And he just warned Chris he's on 2, so if he fouls on this one, it will be the game. The kick is here. And Chris has made a nice kick, hit it, and gotten a safe back. So this game's starting out to be quite a bit of cat and mouse, but being all tied up like that, they kind of lead themselves to that. There's a few more fouls in this match than I expected, but not the type that are unlikely. And with this rack as messed up as it is, Chris has decided to take his ball in hand and go after the 10 ball. He's going to try and play the 2 into the 10 and the cue ball in between the 9 and the 4 off the end rail. Well, he's missed the 10, but I think he's come out not too bad. I don't think that Roland can actually see that 2 ball, the pot in that bottom left. But he can probably play a nice little safety here and spin it off the back rail back into the 9 and the 4. Yeah. And the chess match continues. I think Chris just has the old Z shot here, or Z shot, to get on that 2. That's going to disturb some balls. He's got to hit it hard enough to get a rail afterward. Oh, just missed it. That is a foul. Roland's going to set up for that 2-10. Nice little bit of luck for Roland there to have that set up. A little bit unfortunate for Chris. But that's sometimes the way it goes. It must be a little tighter than I thought because Roland's really taking a close look at that. I'm not sure if that 2 ball goes by that 7 with enough room to take that 10 on. He thinks it does. He's lined it up. Called the 10 in the corner. And no errors there all the way through. Done and done. I think I missed a break there on the old stats page. I think I missed Chris's break. Not sure. We'll do it like that. Oop, wrong button. And back to the main camera and the main feed for Roland's 9th break attempt. So far he's 4 for 8, unsuccessful. Almost made that 8 ball on the side. 2 balls rolling, not gonna go. And he's dry. Yes. Welcome to the stream, Eli. Like, share. Let's get a few more people watching. And for those who are wondering, Chad just won his first set. You can check that out on the challenge bracket. Roland starting this rack off with the one in the bottom left. It's going to do something with that 5, though. The 4 ball's not too far away. It's actually really close, so he should be able to do something. He's not going to get on the 3, though. This will lead to a bit of a creative situation. Cut the 3 in. It's going to end up on the 4. A little funny angle on the 4 on this one. And that's going to change his plan for the 5. Or maybe not. Still use that 5 to carry him the 8 in. Sometimes I miss the obvious. That's why my Fargo is just over 600 and not just over 700. He's got a bit of a tricky angle here. If he cuts it into the top left, he doesn't have a lot of room to maneuver the cue ball around back down table. If he cuts it into the bottom right, he's got a little bit of the wrong line to spin around for the 5. I'm not sure what he called. I think he called to the top top right. Sorry. Nailed it. Hit it perfect. As long as he doesn't get that 9 ball on the road, he's got a good angle to bridge and cue at this 5. Well, it's a little funny here because even if he does carry him into the 8 and makes the 8, where is that 5 going? It looks like it's going to be going straight into the 7, 10, 6. And if it does, are you going to get a clear shot? Is the cue ball going to run too far? And he elected to play safe. I do not believe he got there. If he didn't get him on, if he hasn't given up the whole ball, he's at least given up half the ball. So Chris can thin this 5. Maybe thin the 5 over to this side rail and bring that cue ball down here. He's got to hit it pretty thin. Oh, he had the whole ball. He went for that corner with no hesitation whatsoever. And just when you think you'd like to get lucky, he hits the window. I'm staring right at the 5 ball right now. And it's right straight into the corner. All Roland has to do is roll it in. That is good enough. Nothing in the road, just needs to hold the position with the cue ball. 2 rails around for the 7. It does go past the 10 into that top left once the 6 is moved, so maybe just 2 rails and out to here. Little long, but still all right. Just 1 rail off the back rail. And just as long as you're off the back rail is fine. At 9 and that, 9 and the 8, wide open, don't need to go anywhere. Just make sure you're not on this side of the line, and you'll be fine. Yeah, you didn't want to go to that side. I mean, it's not huge, and he should still be out here, but it's a heck of a lot easier to play that 10 if your cue ball's starting from here rather than over here. Oh, scratch in the side pocket. Little frustration there. But Chris will take that one. And it is now 8-7. See Chris breaking off here, and rack 16 scores 8-7. With the Fargos being capped at 625 and below, we're seeing a lot of long matches. No, nobody's really running away with any of them. You know, it's not, hasn't been any mismatches. So that's another successful break by Chris. Ball off the break. Look at the one. So he's 7 for 7. Believe it or not, it's been amazingly consistent, especially in 10 ball. Those are good stats for anybody. On our next break between games, I'll put up the stat page again, just so you can take a look at it and have a quick perusal. Is that a word? Not sure. The 3 ball does go by the 7. It's tight, but it does go. Just gotta keep it clean on the way by. Let that cue ball hit the 10 so it doesn't go behind it. He's got that 4 ball to the corner or the side. Depends on how he wants to get back down for the 5. Probably the corner. Spin back down for that 5. He's gone a little heavy on it. And come out golden, because again, I'm staring right down the line, and that 5 ball is right in the heart of this corner pocket. All he has to do is get by the 8, and he has the 6 in the side. Might be off the horn and in. And did the 8 get in the road? Doesn't look like the 8's got in the road. Nope, he's got room. Draw it to get clear for the 7. Pretty sure that 8 goes past that 10 into the sides. He's just got another stop shot on the 7 here. Cue and high on the cue ball. Elected to run into that end rail. It looks like he's looking at that a little funny for that 10, for the 8 past the 10. He's double checking to see how much room's there. I think there's lots, but you know, he has the better vantage point. So if he wants to take a second look at it, why wouldn't you? Just needs to hold that cue ball around for that 9. He's left himself funny on it. He's got to hit this pretty thin. Try and keep control of that cue ball. This could be tricky. He's done a nice job to hold that down there at that end of the table. Nicely done. That'll knot it up at 8. Tie ball game, folks. We're getting close to the finish. It's now a race to 3. Race to 3. So far, Chris is perfect on the break. A 7 for 7 was the ball made. He did have to push out once. He's made another ball. And he is going to have a look at the 1. He can see the ball to make it. It is there. It's a little difficult bridging over the 10. So they're going to work together again to peel that rack out of there. Now he's got to try and bridge over that 10 ball and hit that cue ball with absolutely no left or right English and keep it on a perfect line straight at that 1 ball to get it in that corner pocket. The 2 ball goes past the 9. It's tight, but it goes past, so he doesn't have to do anything there. And that's nicely done. That's in there. A little bit hampered by the 3, but he's a little better this time. So if he can just keep improving with each shot and get a little bit more in line, Roll it in. That's a little slow. Gotta watch these tables when they're rolling them slow. I think that rolled off a little bit on him there. That'll bring Roland up. Wide open table. Trickiest ball out there is the 5, and it has options. Just bottom right. Spin that into the rail and back up table for the 3. Roland picking his way through the rack. Mr. Hoiberg, welcome to the stream. Please like and share. You're joining us. We're at the tail end of the match between Chris Jenkins and Roland Stock. 8-8. Roland's at the table. Just gonna drop that 4 ball in there. Brings the cue ball back for the wired 5-7 combination. Just needs to keep control of the 5 and the cue ball here and not let either one of them get hooked by the 6. That 5 ball could drift right straight down towards the center diamond. Oh, he was able to keep a good angle on it, but it went a little far. I don't believe he has a shot at it here. He's gonna have to play safe. And there's even not a whole lot of safe options there. Anything you do is going to be leaving that 5 by the side pocket unless you maybe shoot the 5 dead on like that and draw the cue ball back to there. Or you could just thin it in because I can't see what he can see. That was a great shot. Thinned it in nicely. He's got a bit of a funny angle on the 6, but with a little bit of topspin, he should be able to avoid that side pocket. You can see on the screen there, the natural angle is just to pass that side. But you got to roll it through. Taking a little time. Get your head right, get the shot right. Drew at 3 rails for perfect shape on the 9. Or close to perfect shape. A little bit long. Still easy as pie to come 1 rail right back to where he's standing. So he doesn't even have to walk around the table to shoot that 10 in the same pocket. He's going to shoot the 9 in right now. That'll make it 9 for Roland. So there's our stats for this one. I think I forgot to add that to Chris's total there. Just got a small break. We'll wait for the players to come back. In the meantime, we have the ability to play some non-copyrighted music, Facebook. Roland's made a good break there. He's made the second ball in the side. And he hasn't quite dressed the 1 up the way he'd like to, but he does have a pretty good shot to play the 1-9 bank. He can also thin the 1 on this side and come down here for a safe. I think that's what he's going to do. He's got to get past that 4 ball. It's not going to get safe. I'm going to charge that one up as an error there, just because I know he did not accomplish what he set out to do. I'll bring Chris to the table, who may try a similar type of shot, but I don't know the players, so I'm still learning how they play. Gotta give him another one, because pretty sure that's not what he intended either. Rolling back at the table. He's got some a little bit better opening than he did last time he was here, so. Sorry, just chatting a little bit with Chris there. He's sitting not too far away from me. He asked me to delete any bad shots. Roland getting a little bit through it there. Develop the 4-ball a bit. Just waiting for one of the other players on the other table. Should be pretty easy to just cut this 3-ball in into that pocket there. Bring the cue ball just out here. Yeah, I'm bending it. You know, you want to get to this side of the line so that you can end up down by that 6 a lot easier. That's definitely going across the pocket line. He might be very straight in there. May have to play that cue ball. It looks like the cue ball is going to go right into the 8. So position to the 6, where you would have thought it would have been a little bit too easier from here, has now just become pretty tricky. You got to make sure you get past the 8, or you got to make sure you force it out past the 7 so you can cut that 6 in. That 4 going by the 8 so tight. Could be a bit of a challenge here. Stepping up and stroking it. Head didn't move. Nails the cue ball through the gap. Wasn't quite as straight as I thought, but still. Nice little shot. Ends up on the 6. Shouldn't be any problem from here. That'll set that 7 up for the side. Without too much trouble. Standard bottom right out to the center of the table sort of thing. Lines that 10-ball up for the bottom right-hand corner pocket. This should put Roland on the hill. And that'll do it. Roland is on the hill. Chris is out of time. He's got to put a couple racks together here.
We don't want to have coin babies.
So that's what we're looking at so far. Just a quick look because Roland got back to the head of the table a little quicker than I expected. So breaking off in rack 19. Race to 11. Good break. Cue ball coming out of there pretty hot. Ball's going everywhere. Nothing going down. It's a dry break from Roland. That'll bring Chris to the table. Probably going to push out on this one. Although he might be able to see the paint on the 1-ball. If he can see the paint on the 1-ball, he might elect to thin it and just leave the 1 by the 6 and put the cue ball down table. He's double checking it. You can see the line there. That 1-ball is not quite fully tucked in behind the 7, but it may be close enough. He's going to call a push. Push that 2 and the 10 apart, put the 10 on the rail, and that'll make this a long rack and not a short rack. He may end up getting this back, actually, even though he's bridged up over the 2. So to give your opponent the opportunity to make the mistake. No. Roland's taking it on. Probably just roll into it to try and hook him with the 6-7. Got by the 6-7, got the angle he wanted, but he didn't have the roll on the cue ball to get in behind. Chris doesn't have an open pocket for the 1, so he's going to have to do something creative. Mike, welcome to the stream. Like and share, please. Yeah, find my Facebook page and you can give it a like. That'd be great too. Okay, Chris has called the 5 ball. So he's going to try and combination that 1 into the 5, keep control of everything, and still land with a shot on the 1. It's a tall order. Just a reminder, I'm going to restart the stream after this match. I'm going to restart each time we start a match. I'll try and label them with the players that are going to be coming up. It won't be very long between matches. I'm sure we've got lots to play. Lots of guys waiting. That wasn't a bad attempt. They're a little tricky from those angles. One of the things I found about keeping the stream running is you lose viewers because you get knocked down the news feed all the time, and people can't find the stream. Not sure what Roland will do here. That's a little bit of a funny look at the 1. He might be calling the 9. No, just tried to play safe. Didn't really get there. I know I'm being a little arbitrary with the unforced errors, but I think I'm going to call that one just simply because it didn't look like there was a firm decision made as to where he needed to be and what he was trying to accomplish. Plus the fact that it got sold out over the side pocket. That time he made the 2-5 combination look easy. That was the toughest part of the rack. The 8 ball might pose a bit of a problem. Those balls that end up there usually end up posing a problem. Okay, Chris has got perfectly natural shape from that 3 to the 4. Just needs to stop it right there. Maybe roll a little bit forward so that he can get on the right side of the pocket line. Not there. I don't believe he's on the right side of that pocket. Oh, he may be. He's coming over to look at that side, so he's pretty confident he can get there. He may have hit that just perfect. Navi, welcome to the stream. Did it get by the 7? It did. From my vantage point, I can see that it's passed. He is on the 6. Could be keeping his hopes alive of getting out of this this match winners. Needs these 5 balls to make it 10-9. A little bit of angle there. He's pretty straight on this. Not sure exactly. He might have enough angle to come tight 2 rails and right down there, but if he does, it's pretty tight. No, he's checking to see if that 8 goes by the 9. They end up just drawing it back. Oh, he had more angle than I thought there. Okay. Just 1 second. Chris making the 8 there, but push that 9 out of the way. It's going to be tricky to do anything with that 9 and still hold there for the 10. The angle to bank it to the bottom right is a little bit too steep. Cue ball's going to come back out. If you long bank it to the top right, the cue ball's running around the table. I think he might just roll up to it, but that poses some problems of its own. Oh, not what he wanted there. Roland's going to take a few extra minutes here. Just needs to hit it with a little bit of draw just to get it to start coming behind the 10. The angle and the speed will do it all the rest. He's hit it well for the win. That'll do it, folks. That puts Roland into the next bracket with an 11-8 win over Chris Jenkins. I'm going to take a few minutes to take a break here and get organized for the next stream, but we'll be back in just a few minutes.